everyone, Lisa here. Welcome to What's Crafting Wednesday. I hope everyone had a great week. I know I was happy to see the sun come out a little bit this afternoon since it's been gray and drizzly. So that was nice for the afternoon. All right, let's jump in with our drawing from last week. I did 2 baby cards using the Party Alphabet dies. I did a boy card and a girl card. Same cards, the only differences are the colors and stars versus hearts. So there's my tickets. Let me get my names in here. Shake them up and mix them up. Weren't too many last week. I don't know. Is everybody away? Or they not like my baby cards? Okay. Couldn't have been they didn't like my cards. All right. And we have Carol. Well, congratulations, Carol. I heard that Carol could use one of these cards because she is going to be a great grandmother. How about that? Okay, everyone. Thank you for joining in and your comments last week. So let's get started on this week's card. I have a fun, vibrant card this week. Here in the U.S., we have 4th of July coming up soon, our Independence Day. So I went with a red, white, and blue theme. Though this card could be for any occasion. It says yay on the front and let's celebrate on the inside. So it could be a 4th of July card if you wanted. It could be a birthday card. My grandmother's birthday was July 2nd and we always did a red, white, and blue theme for her birthday. Could be a retirement card. It could be an end of school year card. A promotion. A new home. So you could use this card really for any occasion. It does not have to be 4th of July. I just did red, white, and blue to go with our upcoming holiday. Okay, so I used Real Red and Night of Navy and Basic White. And the main event of this card is the Impressions of Bloom stamp set. And I only used the overlay stamps, the open ones, because I thought it gave it a fireworks look. So stretch your imagination and maybe you see that as well. So I do have a lot going on here. I use the little speckles from the Beautiful Butterfly stamp set. I use the star from Choose Happy. And the sentiments from Simply Said. And I did use these 2 dies here from the Birthday Celebrations dies. So this here is the die set. And I'm just going to pull this one out now because we will use that when we die cut our little yay after. So these dies are standalone, they're part of a bundle, and they are part of a suite. This is the stamp set that goes with the dies. And what I really like is it has the TH, the RD, the ST, and D. So it's fun for making year birthday cards. Okay, so let's get started. With my usual indecision, when I was planning tonight's card, I couldn't decide if I wanted to go with the red and the blue and the red or with blue, red, blue. So we're doing this card in the opposite. That's what happens when you can't make up your mind. Okay, so this card is a Real Red base and our card now will be a Night of Navy base. So then when we're done, you can let me know which one you like better. So our card base is a standard 5.5 by 8.5 that we will score at 4 1/4. And then I have a 4 by 5 1/4 basic white. That's for the inside of the card. And the layers for the front, I have my little cheat sheet here because there's no way I would remember all these measurements. I have a basic white that is 5 by 4 1/4. And then I have a real red that is 4 1/2 by 3 1/4. And next we have a basic white again that is 4 by 2 3/4. And then we have a Night of Navy, which is 3 1/2 by 2 1/4. And then our last one, our basic white, is 3 by 1 3/4. So I'm going to pull away these 2 layers of cardstock. And I'm going to put just a little itty bitty bit of Tombow in the middle of each one of these. This is just to hold the layers in place while we stamp. Little fact, in case you didn't know, Tombow is a very strong permanent adhesive, but if you apply it like this and let it dry, it then is removable. We don't have the time to fully let this dry, so I will put it together. I just have to be a little careful when I take it apart because by the time we put this together, it will be semi-permanent. So I'm just going to center the 2 layers. Okay. And I started by stamping the larger flower first. So I'm still going to stamp them in the same colors that I did on the first card. We're just switching up the order of the cardstock. So I inked up my stamp here and I just went around, moved it in different directions and filled in. So I will try pretty much to do it the way I did the sample. But, you know, it will, of course, come out a little different. Okay. And then next we have the real red flowers. And I'm just going to go around and fill in the spaces where I don't have the blue ones. And then I'll do some on the edges. Just a little bit of color. And you really could put as, you know, as many or as few as you like. If you wanted more white space, of course, you could have more white space. Oh, I'll leave this out. Now we're going to fill in our flower centers. So I'm putting real red inside the Night of Navy flowers. And again, I'm just turning this stamp a little bit each time I stamp it. Okay. And then we will do the Night of Navy centers inside the red flowers. And I'll just quickly clean this off. I could probably just stamp it off on the grid paper. I always find, oh, in case you're not familiar with this technique, I'm sorry. This is called triple time stamping. And I know I've done it on Facebook Live before. I've done it in class. But I always find it to be a fun technique. And this is a brand new ink pad I just unwrapped this morning, and you could see I got a little overzealous when I didn't do my tap 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 like I tell everybody. I guess I did push push push. I was used to using the old one. All right, got that cleaned up pretty good. Now we're going to fill in with the red speckles. And I just went around filling in here and there because we still are going to add the stars. Just put little speckles here and there. Maybe a little bit there. And maybe some right there. Okay. And then now we will add our blue stars. And again, just filling in your white spaces. And you can stamp, you know, over the edges too. So wherever you want to add a little more fill in. I think it's calling for one right there. Let's see, what do you think? I'm going to put a little wee bit there and right there. Okay, I think we are good now. And then we're going to pull this apart. And again, I'm going to be careful. Oh. Tore a little bit, but that's okay. Now, if I had waited and let the Tombow fully dry, then this would have been totally removable. So now we will adhere the stamped layers to the cardstock layers. Oop, oh my goodness. I'm one step ahead. Not good. Okay, let me see how I'm going to do that now. Okay, so we will put this one on. Gets me out of my order. I'll be discombobulated. Now, when you put these together, you do want to make sure that they're going in the right direction. You know, that's the wrong way. You want to follow your stamping and make sure they're in the right direction. And now I can get this one on. So I know many of you who tune in each week and join me have seen me do triple time stamping before, have been to classes when I've done it. But have you ever done it on your own without me? Have you ever taken what you learned and made a triple time stamping card yourself? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. Oh, we can't put that on yet. My goodness, I forgot the baker's twine. Okay. We'll be using, I think it's just called, yes, Real Red and White Baker's Twine. And 16. I used about 40 inches, I think, when I made this, because I doubled it over. I just love using baker's twine. So I'm just going to wrap it around, and I'm going to tie it in a knot, and then hopefully be able to tie a nice bow for you. We'll see how that goes. I can tell you it went very easy on my sample. I lost it. A little pinky back there again. Oh my goodness, my fingers aren't cooperating tonight. It's probably because of the camera. You probably don't believe that I got this done on the sample card in one shot. No problem at all. And it turned out to be quite a nice bow too. All right. Why are my fingers not cooperating? This is going to be my last try. All right, see, it just needed a little threat. Okay, and now we're going to stamp our yay. I have a little piece of scrap basic white here, and we're going to stamp it in real red. And we will die cut it. I have my trusty little mini machine right here. And let me grab my die and we'll get this lined up. And this just fits inside the die. It's like it was made for it, like a glove. And just turn it through. And there we have it. And I already pre-die cut the real red one, so we just need to adhere these together. And then I punched a little hole up in the top corner here, up here, so that we could tie it on. Oh my goodness, that was the wrong end. Okay, and this punch is from a 3-pack, and the name totally escapes me right now. So I will just run this baker's twine through here, like so, and then we're going to make a bow. And I'm going to hope that the bow goes as easily and comes out as nicely as the one on my sample. Let's see, can I get it in the first shot? No, I could not. Do you expect me to? Probably not. Okay, not too bad. Could have cut my baker's twine a little longer. Pull this a little bit and that a little bit and tighten it up. Okay, not too bad. Okay, and those that know me and watch me know I always put some tear and tape behind my ribbon and or baker's twine before I attach it to the card, just so that it doesn't slip. So that to me is a good tip. And then we'll adhere this panel down with Tombow. The first time I saw triple time stamping, it was just like the first time I saw embossing. I was just totally wowed by it. Let me know. Are you totally wowed by triple time stamping? Were you totally wowed the first time you ever saw heat embossing? I can still remember that. All right, I'm going to put a little glue dot behind the knot just to hold this in place. Okay. And I'm going to just pop this up on here and hold on to your seats. I'm using 1-dimensional. Okay, did I hear a couple thuds as you fell off your seat? Yep, just 1-dimensional on this. So totally unlike me, isn't it? And now we'll go to the inside. And let me see, I stamped the inside here in red, so I think I'll stamp this one in blue. Oh, let me measure this because the inside of that one I had, yep, this one too. I had cut it too large. You should have seen me. I had it stamped. I had the glue on it, realized it was too large, and was trimming it with the glue on it. I should have checked this one. So let me just quickly trim this down so I don't have to make that mess on camera. And it was even worse than trimming this down because this I'm trimming 1/4 inch around. That I had to trim 1/8 of an inch on all 4 sides because I had already stamped in the center. Okay, so let's celebrate. And then put 2 flowers. Let me just see how I did that. Up, 1 above and 1 below, of course. And we'll turn the flower. And let me get my speckles in here now. And then we just need to do the centers and the stars. And get this adhered on the inside. So let me know in the comments what you would use this card for. Would you actually use it as a 4th of July card? Would you use it for a birthday? Something other? Retirement? So let me know what you would use it for. I'd like to know your thoughts. And of course, I had a little bit of bling on the front. So let's add that in here. Just a little bit. And now we just need to do the envelope, which I kept relatively simple. I just stamped the flower. I was going to do the speckles and the stars around it as well, but sometimes less is more, you know? And just the center. My crafty friends, and that is tonight's red, white, and blue triple time stamping. I'll put them this way since that was my sample and that was the one we made tonight. Okay, everyone, so take a look. Do you have a preference over if you like the Real Red card base or the Night of Navy card base? Let me know. And don't forget to tell me what you would use this card for. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I, of course, wish everyone a crafty week. Actually, I'm going to wish you a crafty 2 weeks. because there will be no Facebook Live next week. I will be away. And I'll be back here 2 weeks from tonight, and I think we will have a craft along that night. I haven't done a craft along with you in quite a while. So stay tuned. I'll have everything posted that you'll need to have ready so that we can craft along together. 2 weeks from tonight, which I believe is July 9th. In the meantime, a couple things to remind you. Don't forget we have our sweet sale going on through the end of the month. All sweets and components of sweets are buy one, get a second at half price. That goes until the end of the month. And we have the virtual album retreat coming up. It is a 12-month scrapbook kit, double pages, and Stampin' Up! Will be crafting with you virtually for 3 evenings, and you get me for a whole weekend in person. So if you haven't grabbed your virtual album kit yet, get online, get that ordered, get ready. It is going to be fun. Okay, everyone. Again, thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to reading your comments, and I'll be back in 2 weeks. Thanks, everyone. Make sure you're crafty. Bye.